Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jay-A-Samei Casual Talk. Joining us today, we have international pop and R&B artist Diana Rain. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm chilling, Jay. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm blessed.
I like to hear it.
Wow. Please tell us about your diverse and bright upbringing.
Oh, I like that one. I was born in the States, Pullman, Washington State, while my parents were getting their PhDs. Me and my sister were both born that side. Then we moved, originally my heritage is Namibian, so then we moved from the States to Namibia, lived there for a while. And then since 2009, I want to say, so that was when I was 6 years old, we've been in SA. So I've been predominantly raised this side of life. But I think like I have, me and my sister always say like we're more international people. We're not belonging to one or the other. So when you go back home, then you're too South African. When you here, then you're too American. So I feel like we're a little bit of both. Of everything, if that makes sense.
Understood. I'd also like to know when you discovered that music was your thing.
I love telling this story because I decided at a very young age. So when I was like 5 years old, I wanted to sing. So I walked up to my dad. I said, "Hey, yo, pops, I want to do this singing thing." And he looked at me and he thought I was joking because I'm 5. Obviously, I don't know what I'm saying. And he was like, "Okay, let's maybe consider like a plan B or something." And I looked at him and then I broke down crying like the whole afternoon. Genuinely, I couldn't conceptualize the idea of a plan B. So he was like, "All right, cool, chill. It's fine. You can do the singing thing." And I don't know if they knew I was going to take it this far, but I've been doing it since 5. Like straight after that, I joined school choirs and stuff like that. And then I joined like beyond school choirs, just like choirs in Pretoria. And then I started releasing music in 2020.
That's refreshing.
Nah.
That's a refreshing story. The most refreshing story I've heard.
I'll take it.
How did you hear about the Barclays Summer Program and how was your experience there?
Oh man, I had a really, really cool vocal coach when I was, how old was I, 15? And she was telling me, because at the time when I had met her, she was telling me like, "Oh, you should really look into like writing your own music." And because at the time I was only singing, so singing covers, singing in choirs and so on. So she said like, try writing your own music and talk about she said like, what is in your inside room, which is basically like what's inside your heart. Does that make sense? So when I started writing my own music, she told me about Berkeley as like a potential university option. So it's in Boston, Massachusetts. So from 15, I was like, that's where I want to go. This is what I want to do with my life. I'm set. So I just made all my decisions based around going there. And then I heard in 2019 that they have these like summer program for high school students so that they can kind of pipeline you for university at some stage. So for the high school students, I was like, all right, cool. I feel like this is very doable. But the problem was at the time that I couldn't afford it. It was going to be in the States and you needed to pay for your own accommodation, pay for food, pay for the flights. So it was going to be like a young 50K. So my parents were like, that's not really doable for us right now. But then when COVID hit, then it opened up for an online option. So then I would do like my online school, like my high school during the day. And then in the night when it was daytime in the States, I'd have my Berkeley classes. So I did that for 3 months. Like it was a 3 months, 12-week course. And I did this songwriting program where every week there'd be like, okay, write a hook, write a verse, write a this. And then it would be like, use these different styles and so on. And I did really well. I think like I got an A+ or something. But it was really cool. The 3 months was really nice.
Sounds very American.
Very American. Very American. But that was cool. So because after that, one of the projects that I made eventually became my first release. So
talking about your first release, Don't Need a Man. I've been telling these niggas this. Tell us more about it and why was it removed from your page?
Right. So as I said, it was one of my Berkeley my little projects for the school. So I feel like the way I viewed releasing music at the time, it felt like, okay, Diana, you claim to be a real nigga artist. Lock in. Real nigga artist, release music. Do it now. So I feel like it was more about an urgency thing than a quality thing. So I really wanted it to be like my first drop. It would be this whole big moment. And it didn't perform as well as expected, I guess. But I removed it because after a while I was like, man, this song is not reflective of what I can do. Like if this is all someone knows, then they think this is the quality and it's not giving that. So for me, I just didn't really, I feel like it wasn't true to my style. And so I ended up taking it down. But I'm always grateful for that track. And I think it's cute. If anyone ever wanted to hear it, I could play it for you, but I don't claim it. I don't claim it now in 2025.
Wow. I see you've set a standard, and leads me to ask, how are you managing to brand yourself as an artist?
Well, I don't even know if I'm doing it successfully yet, but I think what helps is, at least in the Pretoria scene, from what I can understand, it's a lot of rappers, hip hop niggas are on the come up, and I think it helps that I'm doing something slightly different because. I mean, I know that R&B, it's not to say that R&B is some special genre or anything, but I think it's really cool that as a singer, that's something that's a bit different from everything else. And I really, really appreciate that I get to be able to do that. And I won't lie, I think I'm good. I think that really helps. So I feel like my whole brand right now, it's just kind of staying true to the talent. I think for me, what helps is the quality that I have. And so even when people hear performances, it's able to come from like a different caliber, and that sets me aside apart from a lot of people who are hustling right now. No shade. Just like I think that's kind of how I've been able to find my footing in this. And I also like I'm always trying to be very entertaining, like link up with people and talk and collaborate and all these things. So I think like the way that I've branded myself right now is just like powerhouse vocalist, try and be funny on the side sometimes. It's kind of like what I'm trying to do right now.
Leads to this question. Because you're the second female I'm interviewing.
Okay.
Well, not the second, you're the first.
Am I the first?
You are the first. Just
okay.
You are the first female that I'm interviewing.
Stunning.
And I'm in this male-dominated industry. How do you feel you stand out and are thriving as a female artist?
I think like I was, as I was growing up, I was very sweet and I was very cute and all of these things. And I feel like this industry beat that out of me because when you're operating with men, the one thing that I found, once again, no shade, just an observation. I think, like, unfortunately, men in this industry, when it comes to me and my artistry, especially when I was starting out, they would do one of two things. They would want to be either really possessive and then like dictate what you do. I had someone tell me like, okay, Diana, so you're going to release an EP after you release this? And I said, hello, you're not my dad, you're not my manager, you don't pay my bills, come again. And it was just like people who really, really want to have control over you or want to dictate what you're doing. It was a weird possessive thing. And also people who kind of want to override your wants for your career because they believe they know better than you. So I think like it's not even to say it was a bad thing that I had to kind of toughen up a bit, but I think it's really, really helped that I do not compromise on the things I believe are important for me in my artistry. And I put my foot down when it's like, this is what I want. This is not up for discussion. So I think, I don't even know necessarily if I would say, the question was, how do I set myself apart? Right?
How are you thriving?
Thriving.
Yes.
Once again, I think the genre thing really, really does help. But I think also just being very sure of what my vision is. I'm always very clear on what it is I want. That's always been very helpful so that no one can come and pretend to tell you what you want. So I'm always like, this is it. This is the blueprint. If you cannot do that, thank you, next. So I think like that's really helped me in my journey so far. But it is something I'm like finding my feet in because I always want to be like the nice guy in the room. Yeah. So I'm really trying to unlearn that habit. I think unfortunately a lot of women come with that default setting and it's not working right now. So I appreciate that like I'm learning to do that a little bit more.
Like all artists, always working to perfect their craft. I would like to know why you chose to go and study jazz.
Real? Okay, no, that one was not a choice. Well, a couple of things. My parents were always very adamant that we have to, all like me and my siblings have to get tertiary education. So I knew I was definitely going to go to school. Luckily, they let me do music because they could see I was taking it seriously and I would put in the work. So the thing with the UP thing is, though, I got accepted to WITS and another, maybe UCT, I can't remember. But I got accepted to a couple of institutions as well as UP, and then I decided to go to UP because my mom also lectures at UP. So for her, it was like a really easy decision. She was like, nah, dog, we're all keeping it here at UP. So even like my sister now, who started her first year, is also going to UP. So the way they operate that side is, it's if you're going to study music, you can either do classical or you do jazz. There's no like other option. And I knew I didn't want to do the opera thing. Like, that's not really my bag. And, like, it works for some people. Definitely doesn't work for me. So, by mistake, almost, I found myself in jazz. But I ended up really liking it. And really, like, doing very well in it. So, I think that's one thing that really surprised me. That I ended up falling in love with it genuinely. But now I'm in my final year. And I ended up becoming the only person who's majoring in, like, jazz performance. Wow. And that's really, really cool, dude. So I think it is really, really big because we started, I mean, the degree entirely is very small. But even on my first year, I think we were like, 5 or 6? And now I'm one man at the end who ended up like making the criteria. So I think like, why jazz? It was by complete accident. But then I ended up actually liking it. So now I'm trying to incorporate the things I learned in school into the music I release, like maybe some of the chords or like the way I sing certain things. So yeah, I'm trying to like collaborate those two worlds of mine, the R&B and the jazz.
That's powerful. To other upcoming artists, how would you advise on how to balance making music and money?
Ooh. I think people, I know the whole hustle comes in, like, the open mics and the gigging and all of that, but I think it will be really important if you can find your niche and kind of like go for that market. What helped me with money specifically is the fact that I am doing the jazz thing. So it's like money comes from jazz gigs and stuff like that. But I think it's important that, yes, I know the hustle culture is a bit romanticized. I think it's important that people kind of look at legitimate ways to make money, not just open mic every day of the week. You go Black Club when you go, but that you go, like, I understand that that's also how you meet people.
Yeah.
But it's also important that, like, try and collaborate with people overseas. That's a big way that I made, like, some money recently. Like, if you can operate with guys in the States, if you're a producer, sell your beats. If you're a singer, feature on other people's tracks from across the world. If you want to lean into like the whole African aspect of it, that's usually quite attractive to people from the West.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I think try and find like not necessarily this hustle and grind thing, more just like what is something like a pocket that you can find that you can operate with and that works with your talents and stuff like that. Is what I would say. I don't know.
Talking about money as artists, how do you monetize your craft as an artist?
Well, this is a recent development. I was very much like, oh no, I don't mind doing a feature for free. I don't mind like helping out the bros and all of that. For a long time, that was kind of my mentality on everything. But I think, obviously, we need to make money. And streaming doesn't make money. So the way that it really, for me, features were a big one that helped with making money, gigging. But like, try and find corporate gigs. Like, it's okay if you make your own music independently, but I'm sure you can even find people who are looking weddings, stuff like that, where you can find money. I think gigging was a big one, and also featuring with people overseas. That was the way I managed to do it. So I think that's what I'd recommend, but I'm not sure. I feel like with that one, I'm specific, like I'm still finding my feet in it, so I don't feel confident in that answer, but yeah.
I hear good news about Cupid's Broken Arrow returning. For us that follow Diana, we know it was once on streaming platforms and taken down, and the return is an exciting situation for us followers. Please follow.
Yes.
Please tell us more about.
Oh man, I would like the come up king that was Cupid's Broken Arrows is so amazing because I originally released that EP back in 2021 when I was in my matric year, yeah. And it was the same thing with the Don't Need a Man track where we felt like, okay, you claim to be a real artist would drop an EP. And I feel like I was really, really adamant on like rushing the process instead of focusing on the quality of everything. So, beginning of last year hit. It had been on streaming platforms from 2021 to 2024. And it was a 5-track EP, Cupid's Broken Arrows. It was cute. It did what it needed to do. But at the time, I had someone else releasing my music for me, the kind of like a management situation that I was under. And they had kind of spoken about how they wanted to change up how they're operating. And they asked me if I still wanted to be on board with them as they like transition to a new period. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, to be completely honest, I fear having someone else do the work for me because I feel like then in that case I won't learn. And that's problematic. So I really, really wanted, especially like we spoke about being a woman in this industry, people will really go over your heads if you don't know what's happening in the room. So I really wanted to learn like the whole process of uploading your own music, doing that whole thing. So then they ended up taking down my music so that like I could re-upload it on my own independently. So now I was fully 100% independent. And I tried a different couple of distributors and then I landed on Ditto and I was like, okay, cool. I think this works for me. But unfortunately, because of copyright issues, Cupid's Broken Arrows wasn't uploading the way the other songs were uploaded. So I was like, okay, I don't really know what's happening. But if I'm being completely honest with myself, now that this is like coming up, I don't know if I love it. I didn't really, really like the quality. Because I was sitting with it for so long and I was like, dog, this is not you. I don't know who's singing on these tracks. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. So at the time, I was really like, I wanted to be honest with myself and be like, it's not you. So I was gonna make peace with never releasing them again. Like if they were taken down now, nothing I can do about it. They're not coming back up. Nothing I can do about it. Maybe just put them to bed, you know? And so then eventually I had to reconsider, and I thought to myself, I was like, okay, how about I try like re-recording them? Because you know how sometimes you have like these remastered versions or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of like wanted to do something of the sort where it's like, I will make this EP exactly what I wanted it to be the first time around. And if there's like an idea that I'm not messing with anymore, I'm cutting it. I'm not thinking about it again. It's like, it's not happening. Because if this is not exactly what I want it to be, it's not happening. So I spent the whole of July last year, yeah, in Yzloe Studios. I would come like every week. I'd come record a bulk of the EP because that's when I had my big holiday. So I did a lot of it there. It's fire, dude. Like I won't even lie. So it went from 5 tracks to 7 tracks now. So I added 2 new ones. Well, one is not necessarily new, but it's one I re-released before as well that struggled to come back up. Now I'm fixing it. So now I'm putting it in the EP. But yeah, so I'm doing a couple of stuff like that. Recorded most of it in July. Then had the whole year, a lot was going on. Academics was kicking me, so I didn't touch it for a while. But then I went back in January and I finished recording it. But then, man, working, no shade again, guys. I don't beef with gents, but men really make this industry difficult. Because like the guy who was mixing and mastering it, every day he had an excuse. One day he's sick, the next day he got robbed, then his cat died. I don't know, man. Like every day it was some new shit. I was like, dog, lock in. So after a while, and the thing that pissed me off is I already paid half. So I was like, dude, you're really actually taking the full piss right now. But anyways, eventually I had to cut him dead, and then after like I ended up finding someone else who I think works a lot better for me now.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's been super delayed. I was really gunning for like a Valentine's Day drop, but that obviously didn't happen. Moving very swiftly on. Now we're trying to prep for like a what's the month before? May. Early May, like mid-May release. If we could finesse that, that would be pretty solid. But
so it's pretty much baby making music.
You're
preparing for winter.
Some of them. I mean, damn, please put them on all the plays. But I think mostly the whole vibe of it, it's called Cupid's Broken Arrows. I kind of wanted to, even back then, the concept was like, I wanted to see love from different points of views. Like this one song that's like oh, I'm heartbroken, but also fuck you. Like, you know, like I'm gonna keep it pushing. And there's one that it's like I'm really heartbroken. I'm going through it right now. There's one that talks about like self-love. It's a song that talks about like loving your career and like loving the dreams and the plans that you have for yourself. So it's kind of just like, I think I just like the concept of love, and I didn't want to view it like only in a romantic context, because I think there's so many things that I love about this life that I'm creating for myself, and so I really wanted to view it from different angles. So yeah, that one, if we can finesse it, mid-May drop. I don't have a date, and I'm not gonna like say a date, because now then it's not gonna happen. But for now, mid-May, we're hovering around that. And so, yeah, man, I think it's really coming together. It's a beautiful project, and I'm really, really proud of it. And I'm happy that I've taken the time to make it exactly what I want, because now it's gonna do some damage. So I'm really, really excited for that when it drops, and I'm putting in all the effort, all my money to make it work and to make sure that like it can get to as many people as it can, and I'm just really excited for it. So yeah, that's Cupid's Broken Arrows. Let's see.
I'd honestly love to mention all of your achievements, but I feel that you would do a better job than me because I want to know how you managed to achieve them. As well.
Okay. I mean, hey, achievements, and I try. What can I say? Yeah. I think most of my achievements are like more in the academic vein. Like I remember while I was popping off in high school, I had gotten formal vocal training in 2017 and onwards. And I was doing this like vocal exams each year, and I think when I was doing my grade 5 exam, I ended up getting the highest mark in South Africa for that year for that vocal exam that I did. That one was a really, really cool one. Even in my first year, like I had done really, really well, and so my lecturer had asked me to come sing with her at this one David Tlale fashion show. Like he was doing some, I don't know if you know David Tlale, but he's a fairly big fashion designer here. And so I sang alongside her in this, what is it called? You know, in SA Fashion Week. Yes, that kind of thing. Yeah. That was really cool. I became the singer of like the UP jazz band, and then we ended up going to Grahamstown for the youth jazz festival like 2 years ago.
That's nice.
So yeah, I was singing at that, like representing UP. That was really cool. I think like I don't know, nothing crazy or specific, but it's just generally I've just really tried to, specifically in the academic sense, like where you can get measurable achievements, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're dropping music, it's really hard to get like a physical achievement for stuff. But yeah, I think those are just some that come off the top of my head. I can't really remember what the rest of them are, but it's been a cool journey, man. I'm really, really happy, and I'm proud of the work that I've done, and I'm really, really proud of like just the quality, man. Like it's some good stuff. I mean, there was a while there where it wasn't, but I feel like I'm finding my feet in it right now, and it feels very good to be able to do what I'm doing with it right now, and the collaborations I'm doing, and even on that note, I'm dropping tomorrow. I'm dropping a song to go. Yes, I kind of forgot about that. It's been a long day. But I'm dropping a song tomorrow, and that one is...
By the time this video drops, it won't be tomorrow.
It won't be tomorrow. So today's the 13th of March. 14 March. She's coming. Midnight tonight. But it's called The One I Need. I collaborated with that one with someone in my degree. So, yeah, that one's dropping tomorrow. She's really cool. Yeah, we've done a lot, man. And I'm really happy with, like, what more we can do.
Guys, Diana Rain giving us the most. A lot of good upcoming projects coming through. Links will be below. Make sure you follow, like. Barclay program information will be at the bottom if you'd like to know more about it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Diana, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. So I'm more than honored to be welcomed here. Thank you.
Thank you.